Hey YouTube, this is Creepy Crawler 87. Today we're going to show you how to put a Geo Tracker 1.6 liter 8 valve. I believe the range is from 89 to 95 for sure, possibly above that also, but you can figure that out on your own, I guess, but it definitely covers those years. Alright, let's get started. Alright, the first thing you want to do is locate this timing mark right here, and then you'll use that to locate. You can't see it there. You can see that little tiny divot. I didn't put that in there, that's from the factory. You want that tooth, this tooth here that has the punch mark looking thing on it, to line up with this arrow. Got an arrow coming down here, so we'll get that lined up first and get back to it. Alright, now that we can see that we have it lined up, or not quite perfect, but you can see what I'm talking about. I'll adjust that just a hair, a little more over once I get off here, but I wanted you guys to see you want that tooth with the little divot in it lined up with the arrow cast into the block there and the little pump cover. Alright, so we're going to put this thing in time on the cam. We got the mark right here. There's a dimple on the spoke. Then there's this mark right here. See if you can see it. Come on. There we go. That mark right there needs to line up with this mark right here. So we need to scoot it back just a hair. Got them both lined up. Well, kind of not looking at it straight. Both lined up real good. If you notice, as it comes on around, it's trying to open up the intake valve. That's why you know where you need to be. Alright, so we got the belt on the cog on the bottom. We have our tensioner pulley. We loosened it up. Let me see if I can get it here better. We loosened up this, which is the adjustment. This guy has to be loose. This guy has to be loose. There's a spring here that keeps tension on it right here. So you loosen that bolt up, push this all the way that way so it's all the way loose, then tighten this bolt back up, or tighten this bolt back up to hold it in the all the way loose position. And we just feed the belt on. I feed it on to where you're really worried about the side without the tensioner, the right side over here. And then you just slide it on just like so, work it around, and then down here you just work this on, which I usually put a wrench on the cam bolt and just work the belt back and forth a little bit, but I can't do that on camera because I only got one hand and I don't got any helpers. So, but if you're mechanically inclined enough to have got this far in the job, I'm pretty sure you can figure out how to do that. Alright, and there's a important thing you guys need to know about timing these motors. It's a little different than timing any other motor. You get the timing marks lined up like I told you, but what it actually is, most motors it's number 1 on the compression stroke. However, or top dead center on the compression stroke. However, on these motors, it's top dead center on the compression stroke on number 4. These motors are also timed. When you set the timing, you're setting it off number 4, not number 1 like every other motor ever. Well, at least to my knowledge, which it'll really throw you. It'll think you did the job wrong. If you just do it on common knowledge, you know, bring number 1 up top dead center on the compression stroke and time it off number 1, it won't run. Well, it might barely pitter putter, dick around, but it's not going to run right. So, just know that these motors are timed with number 4 on top dead center of the compression stroke, getting ready to go into the power stroke. So basically you just got to have your marks lined up on the front. As long as you got your marks lined up, then you're good to go. Alright, so we got our marks lined up, we got our belt on. We ran the belt around a couple times to get it centered up on the pulleys. Now the next thing we do, this bolt needs to be loose. This bolt needs to be loose. Let me see if I can get zoomed in here. this spring right here, there we go. This spring right here is what sets the tension on the belt, and you don't want it too tight, so don't cram this thing over and tighten it down. You'll wear out your cam bearings. They're real sensitive to that. That's why they include the spring to set it. So if you notice, let's see here, this can slide both ways. So actually I need to loosen that up just a touch more. You want that pretty well loose. That actually loosen this up too. Alright, so we finally found the wrench, so we're going to loosen that up. Alright, so we make sure we got this loose, got this bolt loose. So now what I do when I set it, I like to push over on this and let it spring back. You noticed in the video earlier when I was doing that, when I pushed, it didn't really spring back. So I push it, springs back. That's it, you're done. Tighten this up. Try to make sure it doesn't move the adjustment while you're doing it. And then tighten that one up. I've already put Loctite on it so it can't back off. Then you're done with that part. Alright, so we got that done. Basically all we're going to do is put the cover back on it, which is exactly how it came off. Be mindful where your bolts went. They are a couple different lengths. I will show you one thing I do to help seal mine up, because my cover didn't come with the new rubber, and the rubber that was on it was shot. So we'll take a look at that. Alright, well here's my little tip or trick, or I guess whatever you want to call it. The rubber was missing when I got my motor, so I ordered a new cover from Napa. A lot of times you actually have to talk the guys into looking for it because they say they don't have them. You have to get it from a junkyard and be like, just put it in the computer, you guys have them. I've ordered 2 or 3 of these now. I've had a bunch of these different motors, but they get old. They usually get wear spots in them. The belt cuts a groove in it. The pulley, if it gets loose, will cut a groove in it, and it'll let mud and dirt and water and everything else on your timing belt, which obviously isn't good. But this one didn't come with the rubber. I was pinched for time, so I tried it and it actually worked. I took a little bit of oil and put it on the engine side all the way around here, and then before I put the cover on, I took 100% silicone out of a tube and just squirted it in the channel all the way around where it was heaped up just a little bit. And then when I pulled this off, the seal actually came out with it, and I was able to reuse it and not have to scrape and do all that crazy stuff. And obviously this is sealing it up good. It's a nice squishy silicone, and it doesn't seem to be affected by the oil. So yep, just throw this back on and then you're done. Well, I hope this helped you out. If you did like it, please go down to the bottom of the page, hit the like button. It helps me out. Also, if you want to see more stuff like this, you can subscribe to my page. The button's down in the corner. And if you really liked it, favorite it and share it with your friends. Alright, this is Creeper Crawler 87 signing out.